Hello. So I'm excited that you guys are beginning your research projects, and going to the library is a great first start. So I want to show you some tips to make sure that your research project is a little bit easier. So we're going to start out at the library homepage, mylibrarychs.weebly.com. And I want you to look at the drop-down tabs at the top, and we're going to go to research. Once you click here, you're going to see a lot of resources that are set up to help you. And the first thing that I want to point out is called the model of the information search process. I'm pointing this out to you right now because I wish someone had shown this to me when I was a lot younger. The reason why I'm sharing this with you is just a quick little research about research. When you guys really launch into this project, I want you to know that the emotions that come along with research, particularly those of confusion and frustration and doubt, are completely normal human reactions. Research isn't easy, and it's something that researchers have done research to understand more about. So I understand that in the beginning, whenever you're first starting out, you might feel a little uncertain. That's like the initiation stage. A lot of people feel uncertainty whenever they begin a large project like this. Once you choose your topic, you might be feeling optimism and some excitement. But then as you start to research and you really start gathering sources, it's normal to really start feeling some negative emotions like doubt in yourself and confusion about the project. Please know that these are normal feelings, and that as you work through this process, you'll be working towards a sense of confidence, more clarity, and at the end, when you finally turn in your project, you'll either feel a great sense of accomplishment, or you'll reflect and feel a little bit of disappointment and know that you can do better next time and figure out where you can improve. So I just wanted to share this with you. All right, let's look at a few more helpful things whenever you get into the research process. This is the guided inquiry design process. This just kind of shows you the steps you'll take as you work through your paper. Feel free to watch these YouTube clips that give you different research tips or to understand a little bit more about plagiarism and how to cite things. Google Scholar is a great source, but we're going to focus on EBSCOhost today. That is a database. Now, you might be wondering why your teacher wants you to use a database, and that's because these are reliable, credible resources. I know that Google searches can give you lots of information, but it doesn't mean that that information has been fact-checked. And if something is reliable, if it's credible, if it's peer-reviewed, that means experts in the field have really taken a close look at that information and have deemed it appropriate to use and to learn from. EBSCOhost is right here, and I want you to notice the username and the password. So you guys will be typing in Central Falcons, and the password for this year is Central20 with an exclamation point. Please note over here, I also have some tutorial videos and an extra video on Boolean searching, so this will help you get better search results. Explora is also something that you can use. This is a little bit different than EBSCOhost. It's a little bit easier to use. You might want to jump on this one and check that out as well. When you go to EBSCOhost, you're going to have to sign in. I'm just signing in with my school account. You guys are going to need to use the username and password. The first screen that you're going to see is going to ask you to choose databases. So if you scroll down, you're going to see that there are a bunch of different boxes that you can check. I don't suggest checking all of them because that will make your search results slow, and it's going to give you way more things to look through than you need. If you read the description of these, you'll get an idea of the types of information that are within these databases. So I'm going to click on the first two, Advanced Placement Source, which shows that it's going to help needs of high school students enrolled in various AP courses, contains more than 5,550 full-text academic journals and magazines. I like the word full text here because that means that you can click on it and you can read the entire article. That is extremely helpful when you're researching. I'm also going to click on Master File Complete. because when I look through here, it says multidisciplinary database. That means lots of different subjects are in this database. So it dates back pretty far, information dating back to 1922, has more than 1,000 reference books, lots of primary source documents too. Those are first-hand accounts of things. A few other things you might notice, there's an ebook collection, an ebook history collection. So if you're doing a research paper on history, you might want to go to this database. Okay, I think I'm just going to use these two for now. Then I'm going to click continue. And the next thing it's going to do is give me lots of different types of search options. So I'm going to go to advanced search. I'm going to teach you guys a few things that you can click in here to make your search results easier. I'm going to click on Boolean and phrase. I'm going to teach you guys a little bit more about this also. Always, for now, in high school, click full text and scholarly peer reviewed. This is letting you know that you're not just going to get an abstract or a short piece telling you what the paper is about. You're actually going to get the whole paper or the whole article that you can read. Scholarly and peer reviewed, again, this means that experts in the field have looked at this paper, several different experts, and they all say, yes, this is a good paper for students to use. The published date is also important. So typically, if something is about 10 years old is really the oldest you want to go, information changes. We learn so much every year in all categories, whether it's math or science or healthcare or social sciences. So I'm going to be searching for things that have just been published within the last 10 years. Okay. And now I'm going to go up to the top here and I'm going to start putting in some searches. Whenever you're searching an EBSCOhost, it's kind of like you're trying to solve a puzzle. You're not going to get immediate results for things that you want. You're really going to have to play with this and come up with things that you think are going to best suit your needs. So I have decided to do my research on the topic of honeybees. This is a book that we just got into the library that is also free for everybody to read on Junior Library Guild. This is free for everyone for the next 40 days, I think, until the books flip and you'll get a new rotation. So my dad used to be a beekeeper, so that's where my interest comes from. So that automatically means I'm more interested in doing this research and in learning about it because I'm emotionally invested. I have some background knowledge in beekeeping. And I know that in Virginia and in Pennsylvania is where I'm from, the bee population is declining, but I don't really know much about it. I don't know why. I don't know what they're doing to try to fix it. So my research paper right now is pretty broad. It's basically going to be something about the decline of the honeybees or honeybees dying out, something like that. I'm going to need to find some information about that and then start to narrow it down. So I'm going to go up to the top here. And I know that I want my paper to be about honeybees. I don't want it to be about wasps or different types of bees. So I'm going to use quotation marks to type honeybee. These quotation marks right here mean that I don't want these words to be separated in the search. I don't want a search to come up of like the sweet, sticky honey and then different types of bees. I just want it to put those two words together. So only honeybee. And I know I also want to search about the decline of the honeybee. Now, when I look at this word decline, if you look at this drop-down bar, you'll notice you'll see ors, decline or decrease or reduction. And then when I look down a little further, it gets better. Decline or decrease or reduction or shrink or declining. Well, all of these words in relationship to the honeybee could end up giving me papers that help to explain my research, to help me understand more about why honeybees are declining. So I'm going to put those in there. Putting or means that if the word decline or the word decrease is part of that search, then it will come up. going to leave this one blank for right now and just see what we get. Okay. So it looks like we have 50 results. And I'm going to scroll down here and take a look at some of the things that I have. Number 4 looks pretty good. The silent beehive, how the decline of honeybee populations shifted the Environmental Protection Agency's pesticide policy towards pollinators. Okay. Now, another thing that I might be able to do to make this easier is to go up to page options, and I'm going to click detailed. This means that I have the abstract of the information in the academic article. I do not want to spend my precious time reading everything in these articles if it's not really going to have much to do with what I need to learn about. So some of these can be quite lengthy. Let's see, how many pages are these? This one's 27 pages. This one goes from pages 311 to 341. Yeah, I would much rather read one paragraph to make sure that it's something that I actually want to use rather than all 30 pages of something. Your time's valuable, so just make sure that you respect that. Okay, so I've clicked into the silent beehive one. I think I want to keep that. If I click on PDF full text, then I will be able to see the entire text. So I'll be able to read through that. If I look over on the right-hand side of the screen, I can choose to either save this into my Google Drive, I can print it, I can email it to myself, I can add it to a folder, and adding things to the folder is great, especially if you've set up your personalized EBSCO account. That's something that I can show you more about later. And you can get a correct citation, which is wonderful because I know that your English teachers are going to be looking to see if you've cited all of your sources. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Cite so you can look a little bit more into this. There are lots of different ways to cite your papers. In high school, we usually focus on APA or on MLA. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use APA because if you're doing this for a science-related topic, that's probably what you're going to use. Now, before we do this, I'm going to X out of this box right now. I want to save this, and I'm going to save it into my Google Drive because I haven't set up my account yet. Maybe you guys haven't, so let's just do it this way first. So I'm going to have to log into my account. And EBSCOhost is going to create a folder for you within your Google Drive. You don't even have to make it. It's just going to be there once you've selected that icon. Your document has been saved to your Google Drive account. I'm going to click OK. Awesome. And I want to make sure that I have the citation for this too. So I'm going to go to Cite, APA. I'm going to highlight that and copy it. And then I'm going to go into my Google Drive, and I'm just going to go ahead and look to see where that saved article is. Here it is, EBSCO. You'll see that I've actually started saving a few things in here about bees. And I want you to go ahead and open up a new document within your EBSCO folder. You always want to give it a title first, so I'm just going to title this Honeybees in Decline. And then I'm going to do Control V and just paste in that citation. Now, I might use this, I might not, but I now have the APA correct citation available for me as I go through and I take notes for my research paper. All right, let's go back to our search. So we are back to looking at the EBSCOhost advanced search screen. And you'll see that I've started playing around a little bit with some more word options. I found out that honeybee could actually be spelled two ways, either as one word or two. So I've included both of those in my first field. And I still have decline or decrease or reduction or shrink or declining. I added the location, and I want to try something different. So I'm going to go back into these different search options. We are using the Boolean phrases. I still want to apply related words, search within the text, apply equivalent subjects. I always want full text. This time I'm not going to click on scholarly peer-reviewed journals. Sometimes you can get more search results this way. And I'm also looking for some ebooks as well, and those would not be peer-reviewed. I'm going to make sure that they're still published within the last 10 years. And as I look at the screen, I'm always going to click on full text, okay, and then search. And it looks like the first thing that we came up with, vanishing bees, science, politics, and honeybee health, might be a great option. You'll notice here after clicking out of peer reviewed, we have a lot more options, 1,780 to scroll through actually. But I think this first one looks pretty good. It's the ebook with the full text. So I'm going to click there. And I want to show you down here in the corner as well. You'll be able to take it to fit the page width. You can always make it smaller so you can see the whole thing. Whenever you're reading an ebook, remember that you can, you can use the arrows down at the bottom to click through pages. You can scroll, however you're most comfortable reading it. I do definitely suggest looking over here at the table of contents because you might not be interested in reading the whole book. And when it comes to downloading ebooks, this won't really work out if you try to put it into your Google Drive. So here we want to add it to the folder. And I'm going to make sure that I cite this as well. We're looking at APA. So I'm going to copy that. I'm going to make sure that I paste that into my works cited page. Looks like I already have that one, so I can delete that one actually. Okay. And if we go to folder, look on the left-hand side, and you'll see I don't have anything else saved in my folder right now except for this ebook. I have one ebook saved in here, and that's this right here. They will give you a certain limit, so you might only get to keep this book for 7 days. Keep that in mind whenever you are doing your research because you don't want to have a great source disappear on you without having an opportunity to really dig in and use it. I want to show you guys one more thing. So let's look at a different database to open up more options. I'm going to go back to our library website, and you have the option to use Explora as well. You're going to be using the same username and the same password that you did for EBSCOhost. You're going to put the username and password in the boxes. I'm signing in with Google. And then from here, notice the icon is the EBSCOhost icon up in the corner. You want to click Select Another EBSCO Service. Explora Secondary Schools. And now you're in Explora. So we want to go to Advanced Search. Notice this looks almost exactly the same as EBSCOhost. So once you've learned one, you can use those same skills with the other. So I'm going to try honeybee or honeybee. I'm going to try both spellings, and I'm going to use the word endanger this time. And I'm going to use Shift 8 to put the little star, the little asterisk right here next to it, because this means it's going to give me all the different ways that this word endanger could be used, endangered, endangerment, and I don't have to type them all in, so it broadens my search. Again, I'm going to make sure that it's been published within the last 10 years. I'm going to skip the scholarly peer-reviewed for right now, I might go back and check that if I need to narrow my search. I'm making sure that I have full texts for everything, and then search. So it looks like we have some good things to use here. I want to look at the page options and look at the detailed ones because I have some I think might work, but I don't want to save things that that won't really give me much information. Let's try the honeybee. This doesn't really give us too much, but I want to check it out. Okay, so this is a children's book review of the book The Honeybee. That's probably not what we're looking for. So let's go back to the result list. Endangered bees under scrutiny. Let's look at this one. Looks like these bees are microchipped. That's interesting. And I like that this one also has captions and photographs. Yeah, I'd like to read more of this one. I think this might help me out in my research. So I'm going to go ahead and put this into my Google Drive. I'm going to click OK. And I'm always going to make sure that I have the citation. So I'm going to copy that, put that into my Works Cited page. And then I am going to go back to my result list and I'm just going to keep searching. I'm going to keep trying different words that might help me get to different articles that could be helpful. I really hope that that this video helped you out as you start your research process, and just know that you can always come into the library. We're always here to help.